Hey, all you beautiful ladies out there that are married or that long to be married. So the last couple days, we have been reading from Created to Be His Helpmate. I think we're going on chapter 5 now. But with like anything that I put out into the world, I try to review it just because I have learned and I have been burned, okay? And so this morning, kind of going down the rabbit hole again, I came across this video of this man that was talking about the book, and he was basically saying that he feels like this book has Muslim views and that some women have come to him and told him that the book led them away from Christ and not to Christ. And that one was kind of hard for me to understand because me and my sisters have been reading this book like together and but separately, and we call each other and we talk about the book, and we have life groups and we talk about the book and how it has helped us with our marriages and how we're like using the tools that Debi has given us and how like we're seeing a difference in our husbands and all the different things. And then the next thing I want to say is that if you are a man that is watching this video, or if you are a man that is creating videos on this book is not for you, okay? Like Debi strictly tells us that this book is not for men. So if you are a man that is needing a book on marriage, then Created to Need a Helpmate is going to be more up your alley than this book. And there's no way that you being a man can even try to understand this book because men and women see things completely different. Like we're never going to have the same brain, okay? Like it's just never going to happen, okay? And then the next thing I want to address is if you look here, there we go. If you look here, Michael and Debi Pearl, see, he's gray-headed. And so we're in 2024 now, you guys, okay? So they were not born in the same generation. And I'm talking to you younger folks out there, you younger wives. And so they are not born in the same generation that we are born in, okay? Like it's 2024. Like things are different, a lot different than they were whenever our grandparents were younger. So a lot of the things that she's taught, like she's going to talk about, you have to understand that she is set in her ways, okay? She's an older lady that believes things should be one way. And maybe we should take her advice. I'm just saying, like, they did pretty good back then for themselves. And if you look at our generation now, the previous generations before and probably future generations, like we're in a lost world, okay? Like our grandfathers, most of them were pretty stand-up men, okay? Pretty great men. And a lot of the men nowadays in 2024 are enabled. I mean, it just is what it is. And then some of the people in the comments were saying about like the totem pole that Debi was basically trying to say that it's okay for women to be like at the bottom of the totem pole and the men are like way up here, even though they are like foolish, carnal, hurtful men. And that's not what Debi is saying at all. So if that's what you got out of it, then you're not reading it correctly, okay? You're not getting out of it what Debi intends for you to get out of it. Because basically what she is saying is that we are called to be equally yoked, okay? So if you read literally Genesis 2:24, that is why a man leaves his father and his mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh, okay? So equally yoked, but it's just like anywhere that you go, you guys. Like if you go to the dentist's office, you have a leader and you have helpers. If you go to the doctor's office, you have a leader, you have helpers. If you have to have surgery, you have an anesthesiologist who is the leader and has helpers. The president is the leader who has helpers. It's just like within your home. Like your husband is supposed to be the spiritual leader and you are supposed to be his helper. Now I can say and speak for a time that I was more of the spiritual leader inside of our home. Me and my husband have been together for 11 years, you guys. So we've been through some things. So this isn't just, oh, she thinks she knows what she's talking about. Like, no, I've actually been through some things, okay? And so I've been the spiritual leader in our home, and my husband has kind of been more down here. But the more that you, the woman, turn your eyes and your ears and your love and your knowledge and everything towards Jesus, the more that man is going to say, what's going on over there? And he's going to be curious, and he's going to want to know. And then he starts kind of climbing. He starts kind of coming up. This is most men, of course. And then they start getting more equally yoked with their wives. And before you know it, they're the spiritual leader of the home. And the woman's falling in place and doing what she's supposed to do and be called to do, which is to be the helper. So that is what Debi means. Like, yes, your husband is probably a foolish, carnal, ugly, hurtful human, because a lot of men these days, they just are, but us being women and doing what God has called us to do, if we set out to do what God has called us to do, then we can be the helper that God designed us to be, and that will ultimately lead our husband to leading our home. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week. It's going to take time, but I fully believe that if you follow along on the journey and you join us, then you will get some tools in this book, some good tools that you can put to use inside of your own home to help you become a better wife, to help you become a better helpmate. And y'all, please comment down below and just let me know if you're getting something out of this, because the last thing that I would like to do is to lead anyone astray. Okay, like that's not what I feel like I'm set out to do. So if you feel like you are getting something positive out of this, please let me know, so that can just encourage my heart to keep moving forward, to keep going on, and that I am, walking the path that God wants me to walk. So I'll see y'all for chapter 5. Bye.